Thanks for clicking on the video. So I'm here in the woods with my dog Amber, and I've got with me my axe, my knife and my saw. And as you've just seen, I've done a bit of foraging. I've collected a bit of wild garlic, some nettle and some really young shoots from the bramble plant. The plan tonight is to do a bit of cooking. I've also got a chicken with me. I'm going to be making a fire right here in front of my tent. Well, it's a teepee. I don't normally camp in a teepee. A lot of you know me for building shelters in the woods, sleeping in hammocks and so on, but I thought I'd do something different. So please stay tuned until the end of the video to find out what I really get up to. So before we get any further into the video, come with me, I'll show you where I'll be sleeping tonight. So I'm going to be sleeping in this teepee. Again, I've just mentioned it, I don't normally sleep in a teepee, but this is such a great teepee and it's really cold at the moment. I've even got my wood stove, which I'm planning to light very soon. So it looks a little bit empty in here, but I've got with me an air mattress, which I'll be placing right here, and I've also got my sleeping bag, and the plan tonight is to sleep right here with Amber right by my side, with the wood stove going, and we'll be nice and toasty all night long. I'm going to... So to light this fire, I want to be using a bit of fat wood. Many of you know fat wood as coming from pine trees, which is exactly where it comes from. Fat wood is great because it's really resinous, and that resin within the fat wood, within the pine tree, is what we're going to be using for fire lighting. So fat wood comes from pine trees. When pine trees die, the wood rots away. What you end up with is this solidified resin. That is exactly what we're going to be using right now to light the fire. So I've got some larger chunks of fat wood right there. I don't need too many because it's very resinous. It burns for quite a long time. What I need to do now is use my knife and make some shavings, really fine shavings. These are the shavings I'll be using my fire steel to strike onto in order for those shavings to catch light. So moments ago, off camera, what I did was I split down some wood. This wood is actually cedar wood. This woodland is filled with cedar trees. A lot of them have been felled recently, but it's this dry wood. This is what I'm using to put on the fire straight away. Those small, thin sticks, the kindling, are what we need in that first stage of fire lighting. So tonight I'm going to be cooking up a chicken. And the method of cooking tonight is called spatchcocked chicken. I've just cracked through the back of the chicken, and now I'm going to give it a little break. You might not be able to hear it, but it sounds a little bit like going to the chiropractor. So once that's done, the plan now is to take some of these skewers. These are the hazel skewers, really thin, that I put a point on. I'm going to skewer this chicken like that. Now, this stick, you might be wondering, why have I done this? Well, the plan now is to thread the chicken onto the stick, and then I'm going to clamp it with some cordage. The cordage I'm using is the root from the cedar tree. I've just dug it up and I've split it down, because if you don't split it, what happens is when you wrap it, it can crack and break. So that's one stick. The next one is going to go up there. And the reason for doing this is just to keep the chicken open, because the last thing we want is to skewer it, hang it over the fire, and the chicken to just collapse. The more surface area, the quicker it's going to cook. And here we are, we've got the chicken mounted to the stick. Next step, we're going to add a bit of seasoning. I've gone for a bit of an Asian, actually it's a bit of an Indian seasoning tonight. A bit of a tandoori seasoning. There we have it. Now all we've got to do is bang it into the ground and leave it for about 1.5, maybe 2 hours. The cedar wood is going to give a really nice smoky flavour to our chicken. So the chicken is finally cooked. It's taken about 2 hours, and to go with it, we've got these, well, we've got some flatbreads to put the chicken in, and there's also these wild omelettes using those wild foraged plants from earlier on. To go with that, we have a bit of salad and also a bit of this dip. This is a bit of yogurt and mint dip, which I think is going to go really well with the chicken. And also, I always say it in my videos, but food cooked in the forest tastes so much better, especially when you're with your friends. And that's who I'm with tonight. I'm with Aaron and Jake. So without further ado, I think it's time we should all put the cameras down and feast. I've done bargies where I've deep fried them over a fire, but this, if it tastes good, I might have to do it again.
Oh, so worth it.
Worth the wait. Good morning. So, cup of tea to go with my fried egg sandwich. Just what you need in the woods. Again, cooking good in the woods. I absolutely love cooking in the woods because it tastes so much better. Last night's food was, well, you know, as you saw, it looked great and it tasted great. It was all about, for me, I love coming to the woods, using materials, for example, the hazel, which I cut down, and then the chicken, seasoned it with that nice Indian seasoning, and to go with it, we had those lovely omelettes. Yes, it was quite a big meal, but remember, I am here with Jake and I'm here with Aaron. These are my friends, they come here to film. In fact, they love a bit of camping and it's just an excuse for them to get out. So while I finish my tea, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, like it, share it, comment, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.